been vegan for about a year now. Yesterday marked my 1-year anniversary of being a vegan, what I would like to call my birthday. My first birthday. I'm a little infant baby in this lifestyle. And I say that it's my birthday because when I switched over to eating a plant-based diet, I literally changed so much. I was like reborn. So many things in my life have gone different since then. All of my passions have literally changed. I am making YouTube videos, I'm taking photos of food, I'm making good food, constantly spreading the message every single day, and everything that I do revolves around this because I have finally found a purpose. And I think when everybody finds their passion and their purpose, they become a new person because things have just gone in such different light for them. So anyway, yeah, yesterday was my birthday. I just want to kind of share with you guys how I got here in the first place and what are the things that I gained from this whole experience from just 1 year. So I started veganism mostly because I was curious. At the end of 2014, I was starting to fall into eating disordered habits. I was like binging out a lot on nuts and like cereal and oatmeal when no one was looking because I had been trying to follow a paleo style diet. Before that, I had recovered from an eating disorder, but I don't honestly think that I was really like cured off of it or really like stopped any eating disorder tendencies because I was kind of forcing myself to and not allowing myself to recover on its own time. I think it's because I was so stressed and trying to like recover before I graduated high school so I could go to school and college and be okay. My parents would be okay with it, but obviously when you have an eating disorder, it's like anything can happen. Can't really control it, you know? So like 2 or 3 months into eating paleo, I started relapsing into eating disordered tendencies. I was binging out on foods and restricting, and then like binging out on like high calorie foods like nuts, like peanut butter, like bread with butter and oatmeal and a fuckload of cereal and milk. Like I was literally starving, but I didn't know why. I came home from winter break and I found myself like totally ditching the paleo thing. Like I was so tired of it, but I was so confused about what to do because I had not felt good at all the past couple months on eating just meat. And even when I was following paleo, I didn't like to eat a lot of meat. I mostly subsisted on like eggs for protein and I think like Greek yogurt or like chicken, whatever was at the school cafeteria that was like clean and paleo. I was just feeling really sick and deprived from eating this way and falling back into these eating disorder tendencies. I started to research a diet called the 7-day diet where it's like in 7 days you can drop 10 pounds, and I don't even know why I wanted to do that because I was thinner than I am right now, and that's like crazy because even right now I wouldn't want to lose any weight. But back then I was like, oh my gosh, this seems like fun, let's just do it. But I knew it was like eating disorder tendencies again. And when I was looking at this diet, I also came across Freely the Banana Girl and Raw Till 4, and I was reading the guidelines and I was like, this is fucking ridiculous. This girl eats so much. Like, how does she expect people to eat 1,000 calories or about that amount of food for a meal and of fruit? Like, that's so eating disordered. So I looked at it and I was like, I kind of want to try it. You know, as like unhealthy as it sounds, I was like, wow, it sounds like really interesting. But then I didn't bring myself to do it because I didn't want my family to think that I was relapsing or falling back into an eating disorder, because then that means I wouldn't be able to come back to college and do my own thing. But what ended up happening was I was watching all of Freely's videos. I was binge watching them, and I found other YouTubers who'd gone through eating disorders who were also eating Raw Till 4, who looked so healthy and happy, and they're eating so much food. And I was like, shit, I love eating a lot of food too. I'm just gonna try it. But I was still scared to do it. So then when I came back from California to Boston, I got really, really sick. And by the way, that's the last time I've ever been sick. I had a fever. I had to go to the hospital because I thought I was having appendicitis. It wasn't appendicitis, thank God. But anyway, after that, I was like, fuck this, fuck mistreating my body. I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't work out, then it doesn't work out. And you know what? I haven't lost anything. The next couple days, when I was eating an abundance of food, I was eating so much fruit, I was eating so many potatoes and rice within the first couple days, and after that week, I was like, this is it. I'm never going back ever again. I'm just gonna stay here because I've never felt better in my life. And I say that in the most sincere, like true way. I've never felt better in my life. I've never felt happier. I've never felt so enlightened. During the beginning time, I literally immersed myself in hundreds of YouTube videos, all the health, food related documentaries that are on Netflix. Forks Over Knives, Earthlings, Cowspiracy was not on Netflix, but I brought myself to watch it. I just found it online, but now it is on Netflix, so you can watch it. Vegucated, Food Inc. I watched all of those and I was like, there's no way that I'm going back to meat and dairy because I don't need it and I feel so much better without it. So that's basically how I got here. Long story short, I want to mention a couple of things that I'm really grateful for this whole entire year eating a plant-based diet. And I think the first thing is definitely mental clarity, and with that comes finding a true passion in life. When I was going through high school and even my first semester of college, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a doctor, and I think I know why. So yeah, I'm gonna be a doctor. After I'd become vegan, I knew why I wanted to be a doctor. Because the doctors nowadays aren't taught in school about nutrition. They're not taught that nutrition can save lives. They're taught that prescriptions save lives and surgeries save lives. But what if you combined all of that with nutrition? That would make for such a better health profile of the world, and I wanted to be part of that. If I can't change the system from the outside, I'm gonna try to change the system from the inside. I combined my love for the human body, for anatomy, because I think it's absolutely beautiful and breathtaking and genius how the human body was created. It's spectacular, it's a celebration, and I like absolutely love the way it works. So I'm combining that with what I learned from nutrition, and I recreated my passion in life. I really wanted to be a doctor and save lives, but now I want to be a doctor and save lives through a plant-based diet. Why not just take all of those and put them in one basket and say, hey, this is my life passion. So it was really awesome that all of that like lifted. I was no longer confused. I knew exactly what I wanted to do. All I knew was that I wanted to spread the message, and I knew that I could do that through becoming a healthcare professional, and so much of my life has changed because of that. And every day I wake up and all the things that I do just remind me of that one true passion that I have and the goal that I want to reach. It's really great to have a goal, because if you don't have a goal, if you don't have a passion, if you don't have something that you're trying to work up to, then I feel like you would just go through life just going through the motions like I did, like not really knowing, just trying to assimilate into society. But now I'm screaming from the rooftops exactly what I want to do and what I love. Another thing that I wanted to mention was confidence. I never in a million years would think that I would be talking in front of a camera for like 20 minutes straight to show like thousands of people online and connect with them. Finding veganism and finding a cause and a purpose and finding something that I can work for that's bigger than myself gives me confidence to put myself out there and be vulnerable, because I know that I'm doing it for a cause. I know that I'm doing it for other things, other people, for the world. And in my mind, it's like awesome of me to do that, which is why I'm like so much more confident with putting myself out there and taking pictures of my food in restaurants, and I'm not like embarrassed about it because they don't understand what I'm trying to do. Another thing that comes along with confidence is self-love. Now, when you eat foods that are like meat, eggs, dairy, and all of that, they contain negative emotions, negative energy in them. So say you're trying to escape from being killed by a serial killer. There's so much stress, so much adrenaline going on in your body, and all those hormones are being secreted, and it's making your body almost acidic, right? So just try to put that into perspective of an animal. This cow, this pig, this chicken, they are getting so stressed out. They are getting so scared. There was research done that a certain hormone, I don't know which one, you could go Google it later, but a certain hormone is released in response to fear and stress, and it makes the body and the muscles of an animal more tough and tense. That energy that stays in the body is there. When you and I eat that, we ingest and take up that energy. When I started to go plant-based and less animal-based, I realized how much more positive I felt right away. And I didn't know what it was until I started to watch more videos and do more research, and it finally clicked in me that like I wasn't taking up that negative energy anymore. I was taking up the energy of plants that want to be eaten. And I say they want to be eaten because they would not have seeds in them if they didn't want to be eaten. fruits look pretty and taste nice and sweet because they want their seeds to be ingested by animals to be spread elsewhere. So they want to be eaten. That's a really big thing. I felt more positive about what I was eating, and then in turn, I started to develop more love for myself and more forgiveness and more patience, and that is not something that I could have done without a plant-based diet. And the last thing that I want to mention today, because the video is getting kind of long, is that I made so many more friends and kind of realized who the real people in my life were from that point, because a lot of people kind of like backed off from me because of the way that I ate. And at first I was kind of hurt and I didn't understand it, but as months went by, I realized that it might probably be because what I'm doing kind of makes them feel uncomfortable with what they're doing. I kind of realized that they weren't really true friends to begin with. If they wouldn't be friends with me because of the way I eat, then why should I even care about what they're doing? I would reach out to people. I didn't isolate myself. I reached out to people. I tried to maintain a relationship, but I realized that ever since I started like this whole vegan thing, they were like more distant from me. I don't know what it is, but a year before that, I would have like cried over it. I would have like tried to lose more weight over it because of my eating disorder, but now I was just like, okay, whatever, like, it's fine. You do you, I'll just keep doing me, you know? And I have found the people who really do matter in my life through this. They're the people who stuck through, who still wanted to hang out with me regardless of what I ate or regardless of what my message was. They're people who were interested and genuine, and they didn't have to love my lifestyle. They didn't have to even ask me questions about it. But the fact that they were still there for me and that they still wanted to hang out with me showed me that those are the people who I wanted to hang out with. And then the people who started to like fall back or not talk to me as much, I just realized it's not worth it to try to keep up a relationship with someone who like doesn't want to hang out with me unless I do certain things with them, like going partying, eating like meat or dairy with them, or staying up really late, or doing, I don't know, things that I'm just not interested in. And there are friends who do that, but who also still want to be in my company, who will go out and just like walk and talk, or like just sit and talk over tea or coffee or something. Like, I started to enjoy more personal connections by going into this lifestyle, because I started to realize like what our life is really about on this earth and what really matters. And I've also been able to make a lot of friends through this lifestyle that I can honestly say will be friends for a lifetime. I mean, I made a really good friend over Instagram, and now we're roommates and we both live in California, and it's like we're gonna be friends forever. I met a lot of people from LA. I met a couple people here. Life is really awesome when you start to figure out what you're passionate about and find other people who align with that, or who are okay with that, or who fit into that. I'm just really thankful for this opportunity to be more open-minded and to connect with more genuine people. It's really awesome. I don't know really what to talk about right now anymore. This has gone on long enough. I just really wanted to say that I freaking love my life right now. I love the direction that it's heading. I love the message that my life has, because your life is a message. What you're doing with your life is a big message to the world and to the people around you, and I really freaking love mine right now. And I could not have said that with more confidence if I were not vegan, if I didn't do this for a year. And I couldn't have done this without the support of all the people around me, without taking that really big step, that scary, vulnerable step into a world that you don't know, where you think that everybody hates. And literally it's like, wow. This opportunity and this year of experiences has been great, and I cannot wait to see what comes up in the next many countless years. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see y'all next time. Bye.